Imagine discovering that the person sworn to protect the public is secretly fantasizing about kidnapping, killing, and eating women. This isn't a horror movie. This is the true story of an NYPD officer whose online fantasies became one of the most disturbing criminal cases in modern American history. They called him the Cannibal Cop, and what happened next forced the justice system to confront a terrifying question. Can someone go to prison for thoughts alone? Gil Valle was a 28-year-old New York City police officer living in Queens. He had a wife named Kathleen, a newborn baby, and a steady career with the NYPD. To coworkers, neighbors, and friends, Valle appeared normal and responsible. But behind closed doors, he was harboring violent fantasies involving kidnapping, torture, murder, and cannibalism. In 2012, Valle began spending hours in online chat rooms and fetish forums where users shared extreme and graphic fantasies. These weren't vague conversations. Valle discussed specific scenarios involving real women, including people he personally knew. In some messages, he talked about abducting women, restraining them, and killing them in horrific ways. In one exchange, Valle even offered to kidnap a woman for $5,000. Although the kidnapping never actually took place. As investigators later discovered, Valle went far beyond casual online roleplay. He created a detailed document titled Abducting and Cooking Kimberly, a blueprint. The file laid out step-by-step plans to kidnap, murder, and cook a former classmate. It included her personal information, methods of restraint, and a list of supplies such as chloroform and plastic bags. To prosecutors, this document looked less like fantasy and more like preparation. What made the case even more disturbing was Valle's misuse of his position as a police officer. He accessed restricted law enforcement databases to look up personal details on more than 80 women. Using systems meant for public safety, he searched for addresses, photographs, and background information on women he viewed as potential victims. Prosecutors argued this abuse of power showed that Valle's fantasies were moving closer to real-world action. At home, Valle's wife Kathleen began noticing strange behavior. He spent long hours on the computer, often late at night, and became increasingly secretive. Suspicious and concerned, she installed spyware on their home computer. What she discovered terrified her. She found graphic internet searches, violent chat logs, and messages discussing plans to kill and eat her and her friends. Fearing for her life and the safety of others, Kathleen reported her husband to the authorities. In October 2012, federal agents arrested Gilberto Valle at his Queens apartment. He was charged with conspiracy to commit kidnapping and unauthorized use of law enforcement databases. The arrest grabbed headlines, earning him the nickname the Cannibal Cop. At trial, prosecutors presented disturbing chat transcripts, the blueprint document, and evidence of Valle's database searches. They argued that Valle had crossed the line from fantasy into criminal intent. The defense countered that Valle was engaging in extreme role play, protected by free speech, and had never taken concrete steps to carry out any crime. No weapons were purchased, no victims were contacted. No kidnappings were attempted. In 2013, a federal jury found Valle guilty. He faced the possibility of life in prison. The verdict sparked intense debate across the country. Some believed justice had been served, while others warned that punishing someone for thoughts and fantasies set a dangerous precedent. Then came a shocking reversal. In 2014, a federal judge overturned Valle's conviction. The court ruled that the evidence showed disturbing fantasies, but not a real agreement or plan to commit a crime. Without concrete steps toward action, the judge concluded that Valle's behavior did not meet the legal standard for conspiracy. After serving 21 months in prison, Gilberto Valle was released. Valle was fired from the NYPD and later reinvented himself as an author of extreme horror fiction, drawing from the same dark themes that once put him behind bars. His case remains one of the most controversial in modern legal history, raising difficult questions about free speech, intent, and the line between imagination and crime. The story of the Cannibal Cop forces us to confront an uncomfortable reality. How far is too far when fantasy becomes obsession? And should the law punish what someone imagines, or only what they actually do?